Hey guys, Josh here, and in this video, I'll be sharing with you 10 upcoming farming and crafting games to look forward to, but more specifically, games that no one else is telling you about. There are so many of these lists of upcoming games, we're seeing the same ones over and over again, but I'm confident that today you will discover some new ones. If you do, leave a like on the video to let me know it was useful. And just before we get into farming, one game I had never heard of until very recently is Whisper of the House, maybe that's why. But they are sponsoring this portion of today's video, so I could spread the word about their demo. Steam Next Fest is happening right now with tons of games to try, and if you're looking to have a relaxing time organizing and decorating, add this one to your list. Your goal here is to help clients with moving, organizing, or tidying their homes. Each client has a unique personality and story that shines through their belongings, as well as different requests that you need to fulfill. In a typical job, you will get to unpack furniture and smaller items to make their place look nice, and when you're done, you receive coupons with which you can buy things to decorate your own house or random rooms around the city. I like that there's an actual city you can walk around in to go from one job to the next, visit the different shops. The pixel art here is great, and there are fun little secrets to discover. Feel free to check out the Whisper of the House demo using the link in the description. Playing it gives you extra coupons, and by the way, if you launch the game and it's not in English, you can change the language with this button in the top right corner. But now, if you need an escape from the city life, you want to farm, that's why you're watching this video, then you might be interested in Dragon Song Tavern, Cozy and Adventurous, planned to release for Steam and Nintendo Switch. In this one, you'll be following the adventures of two siblings, Gracie and Elio, as they move to a coastal town, buy a tavern, and stumble upon a baby dragon. If you don't want to play as one of the preset siblings, don't worry, you can also create your own character. Then you'll explore the world, collect ingredients by foraging, fishing, farming, and come back home to run your fully customizable tavern. Cook dishes, brew drinks, serve customers, and create bonds with the other villagers, who can then become your companions and provide you with unique and valuable perks. This game reminds me a lot of Little Dragon's Cafe, from the siblings running an establishment to finding a baby dragon, but also a bit with its art style. They are quite different, but they both have this storybook vibe to them, and I love how beautiful the environments look in Dragon Song Tavern. I did play the demo for this game recently, I had a good time, but also a few issues. The dialogue was dragging on forever and ever. The gameplay felt a bit slow and shallow, there was not too much to do when it came to running the tavern. There were a few bugs, but that was a demo. My favorite feature was learning how to cook new recipes where you get hints about the ingredients, and you have to actually figure it out yourself, which was a rewarding challenge. I know the small team behind this game has been listening to everybody's feedback, so I have hope, and if you would like to try it for yourself, the demo is still available on Steam. Another game with a demo is Doloc Town, planned to release sometime for Steam, and this is a pixel art farming sim set in a post-apocalyptic world. Not only will you get to construct buildings and set up a farm with whatever materials you find around the wasteland, you will also spend the time exploring what is left of this world. You'll be fighting your way through dangerous enemies with the help of your drone companion, all while doing some platforming, and if you manage to survive long enough, you may encounter other humans to connect with and trade some valuable resources. Usually, farming games are very calm and peaceful, even when they have combat they tend to be pretty chill, so I like how action-packed this one seems. It almost looks like a combination of Mega Man with a farming sim, not something I expected, but we do need developers willing to try new things, as a lot of these games can end up feeling similar. I have not tried the demo yet, I will most likely do so very soon for a live stream, so subscribe if you don't want to miss that, and let me know if you had the chance to play Doloc Town. Another darker, maybe more grim farming sim that I've not seen many people talk about yet is Grimshire, planned to release in early access on Steam in the second quarter of 2025. After your hometown gets consumed by chaos, you will move to an isolated village called Grimshire, where your goal will be to restore an old farmhouse and to take care of the fields. Despite the village being in a remote location, the plague is on its way, and you will have to prepare accordingly if you want the community to survive. You will have to preserve and stock enough food to feed both carnivores and herbivores. Everyone is an animal, by the way, in this game, in case you're just listening to the video. And you will participate in construction projects, research new methods to increase your chance of survival, and tame wild critters for some fresh products. There's also going to be fishing, mining, foraging, decorating, but danger will never be too far, and there is a real risk that some of your favorite villagers might not make it out alive. This reminds me of Echoes of the Plum Grove in so many ways. I love farming sims that are not afraid to get a bit dark or challenging, and even though I'm not the biggest fan of the art style here, if the gameplay and story are there, I'll be there, and there is a demo available right now, like for many other games in this video. Going back to something more cheerful, next is Everbloom, a whimsical farming sim currently being developed for PC. After creating your animal character once again, you will move to Everbloom with the task of bringing flavorful food back. This is where the whimsical comes in, as instead of simply doing things the regular way, you will, for example, give chocolate to a cow and she'll start producing chocolate milk, set peppers on fire to make them spicy. The game will encourage you to play around and experiment in order to discover the large variety of ingredients available. There's also going to be ranching. Animals will each come with their own personality traits that will get passed on to their child, so you will have to carefully breed them for the best results. Breeding will extend to flowers as well, with tons of colors to unlock, so if all of these things are done properly, Everbloom has the potential to offer very in-depth farming and ranching mechanics. We can also expect cooking, fishing, romance, quest, exploration, a lot of customization, and a 4-player co-op mode. All of that in a beautifully crafted 3D world. We've been getting a lot of top-down and 2D farming sims, so I'm happy to see more of this 3D third-person perspective, and I can't wait to try out the game whenever it releases. Before we get deeper into all of these farming sims, let's switch things up a bit with this next game, Bobo Bay, which will release someday for Steam. Have you ever played the Sonic Adventure games? And if you did, I know where you probably spent most of your time: in the Chow Garden. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Chow Garden was a place where you would take care of these adorable creatures, feed them, and depending on how you cared for them, they would grow differently, change color, they could evolve, and do a lot of different things. I'm just talking about it right now, and it makes me want to stop recording this video and just turn on my GameCube. So Bobo Bay is going to be basically that, and I don't know why no one else did it before. Actually, there is one other game with a similar concept coming up called Puglings, but I already talked about this one in a previous video, and I'll leave a link on the screen if you're interested. Going back to Bobo Bay, you will have thousands of possible combinations for your Bobos, from shapes to colors, personality traits. You will get to dress them up, and they will evolve based on how you treat them. Just like it was in the Chow Garden, you will have your creatures participate in races where they will run, fly, swim, so you will have to make sure they're ready for the challenge, and you'll get fun rewards to keep you going. There is an alpha for this game that can be downloaded for free on Steam. I played it last year. It was a lot of fun, though it was pretty early and lacking content. I think that is my main concern for the future as well. In Sonic, you could do missions and other things between your time in the Chow Garden, but here all of your time is spent on Bobo Bay. I wonder if that will get too monotonous over time, but I will still try the game when it comes out, and I hope it will still be a fun time. We're going back to farming now with Chaos Haven, releasing in early access on Steam, we just don't know when. Chaos Haven takes place in a Chinese-inspired post-apocalyptic world overrun by demons, but don't worry, you will find a place to stay in this mysterious village protected by cultivators. You will help the villagers in order to prove yourself and integrate the community, where you will get to romance one of multiple girls. They are definitely going for a certain style here, but there's more than meets the eye, at least according to the Steam page. These girls will bring you rich emotional experiences and unique storylines. Speaking of storyline, Chaos Haven will feature different endings, and your actions will determine the fate of the village, which reminds me of Harvest Moon Save the Homeland, and I've not seen that in many recent games. Of course, there is going to be farming, which they describe as an authentic farming experience, allowing you to truly feel the joy and sense of achievement of farming. To me, it looks a bit clunky based on the trailer, but it will be early access, so hopefully there is time for things to change. There's also going to be what they call Pleasure of Water Area Exploration. The wording is a bit funny and the trailer does not show any of that, but it seems like you'll be able to explore various bodies of water with your boat for fishing, treasure hunting, and more. We've been seeing more and more Chinese farming sims with Immortal Life that got its full release last year, amazing game. There's also Titopia coming up, Lychee Town. They will have to find ways to differentiate themselves. I'm not fully convinced by Chaos Haven yet, to be honest, but it will be an option. One game that I am really curious to know more about is Hawthorn, a co-op sandbox RPG village life sim inspired by Victorian-era fairy tales. Made by former developers from Bethesda, BioWare, and Naughty Dog, you will get to build a village solo or with friends, all while taking the role of anthropomorphic animals. You will pick your animal of choice, that could be a rat, a bird, or another small woodland creature, and then you'll fish, farm, interact with NPCs, and of course your friends, and explore the large world that changes with the seasons, each one bringing its own unique challenges. We have so many games where we play as animal characters, but I like how here you will have actual animal abilities. For example, if you're a bird, you'll be able to fly. And also you're going to be animal-sized, where most plants and trees will look giant compared to you, just like in Grounded or Small Land. Overall, Hawthorn looks very unique. It's hard to find a game to compare it to. Plus, they have experienced developers on their team, so I'm feeling good about it, and I'm excited to learn more whenever they launch their Kickstarter campaign. If you're craving more of a classic-style farming sim, but still with a fun twist, then make sure to keep an eye out for Ritual of Raven, coming in 2025 for Steam and Nintendo Switch. If you're tired of always having to do all of the farming by yourself, you will be happy to hear that in this story-based game, you will be collecting and enchanting arcana constructs who will take care of your magical herb garden for you. This will be done through the use of a mystical deck of cards. Not sure how that will work exactly, but you'll be able to collect 22 constructs who will plow the soil, sow the seeds, water, and harvest for you. While they're doing the manual labor, you will be tasked with helping a witch in her search for her familiar, Flufferstoop. You will have a familiar as well, Raven, who's a raven, very creative name, and together you will perform rituals and try to bring stability to portals that have been messing things up around the world. The color palette, the isometric view, and magical theme remind me a lot of Everbloom, which released last year. I have a video on that game if you're interested. But the gameplay should be quite different thanks to the cards and constructs mechanics. Ritual of Raven is being developed by Spell Garden Games, who released Sticky Business, which you might be familiar with. Obviously, it's a completely different genre, but it received great reviews, so that's always a good sign. If you want more of that isometric style, you might be interested in Isometria, releasing in the second quarter of 2025 on Steam. This is a sandbox game to play with your friends or solo, where you will build a community and battle powerful bosses and monsters in a procedurally generated universe. This looks like Core Keeper, but with the graphics of the first Roller Coaster Tycoon game, and to me that sounds like a good match. You will build a base, level up your character, explore 9 distinct biomes, fight over 40 different enemies, each with their own strategies and challenges, and craft more than 400 unique items. The combat seems like a lot of fun, very chaotic, and I imagine this is the type of game that might be a bit tricky on your own, but so enjoyable with friends. You will even have the option to host a dedicated server if you'd like to keep your world open to others. If you're interested in trying Isometria, there is a demo available right now on Steam, and if you did play it already, I would love to hear what are your thoughts. Lastly, if you ever wondered what it would be like to survive on a junkyard planet inhabited only by broken robots who don't like humans, well, you'll finally be able to experience that in Silicone Heart when it releases on Steam. Customize your character and uncover the mysteries of this planet as you crossbreed plants, catch robofish, and find resources that will make your time on this harsh planet a bit easier. You will discover new technologies and build a ton of gadgets and machines. In order to fully automate your farm, you'll upgrade your equipment, and you will also craft weapons to defend yourself against crazed robots who are trying to get rid of you, the last human. But not all interactions with robots have to be negative. After all, you will be the only one able to repair their broken ones. As you bring them back to life and complete tasks for them, you will slowly become part of their community and hopefully get some nice rewards. This game truly intrigues me. I think it has lots of great ideas. I love automation and I feel like it's something we don't see done well in a lot of farming games. So I'm excited for that, and I'm dying to know how did we end up as the only human left. So these were 10 upcoming farming games I wanted to share with you today that I feel like not enough people are talking about. Let me know which ones you're looking forward to. It's really hard to pick just one, but for me, Doloc Town is catching my interest the most. It just looks so different, but let me know which ones you will play in the comments. Feel free to check out the demos, especially if you're watching this as Steam Next Fest is happening. Thanks again to Whisper of the House for sponsoring this video. Make sure you check out that game. Leave a like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all in the next video.